Good morning and welcome back to Great Day. Oh, it is that coveted time when Brian Duffy comes on by and creates something right in front of your eyes. So we are ever so close where it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Getting set for the big guy's visit. So cannot wait to see what you're going to create today.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history of Santa Claus and where he came from.
Hey, good idea.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, yes. That shows how old you are.
Oh.
Actually, it's a lot farther back than that. And it actually goes back farther than the editorial cartoonist that came up with the image of Santa Claus as we now know him. Because this...
It used to be a little German dude, wasn't it?
No. Oh. See, this is
a little German dude.
Let's go back even further in time.
Oh, okay.
It's named after Saint Nicholas, which was a 4th century saint. And it's the Dutch that came up with the name.
Oh.
The name was Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas, I remember that. Yeah.
And Sinterklaas would come on December 5th. And he would put something in the kids' shoes. But he also had an assistant with him. Now this is where it gets a little on the
what kind of an intern or something?
Freaky side.
Yeah, okay.
So the good kids got something in their shoe, and the bad kids got stuffed into the bag, brought back to Spain, and stayed there for a year and were taught how to behave. Then brought back the next year.
I think we should re-implement
Really?
Those days were rough.
Yeah. Talk about making kids
And that's
behave.
where Krampus came from, correct? The evil part of Christmas? No.
No.
Completely different thing.
Completely different thing.
Okay.
Also, another tie-in is on Christmas Day, or on December 5th, because they really don't. I mean, Christmas Day is not celebrated the same way as we do. On December 5th, which was St. Nick's Day, they would have what we consider Dutch letters. Dutch letters they would form these letters as in the first name of the individual at the party.
Right.
So they weren't all S's. And another thing, they had a lot. They had a lot
still
more.
delicious.
Oh no! They had a lot more marzipan in them.
Oh.
See, I'm half Dutch, so.
So you know these things.
So I know, yeah. But Santa Claus was developed by Thomas Nast, who was a cartoonist back in New York in the 1800s, and he borrowed the term from, obviously, the Dutch. But during the Civil War, he came up with the figure that we now know as Santa Claus, in which he put him in this, red, and at that time it was a red fur outfit, and jolly old man. And he drew these caricatures of what we now know as Santa Claus for about, I would have to say about 20 years. And every Christmas, he would have jolly old Saint Nick coming down the chimney or whatever. And it was a big thing for people to collect these, the drawings that he had come up with. And also, the elves came from German tradition. So there were elves at the time, and you had Santa, and of course he was a jolly old guy. I think Sinterklaas was a lot thinner. Didn't have the same look.
Well, maybe that's what I'm thinking about, the small German guy. Maybe that was the Sinterklaas.
We all put on pounds over the years.
Well, he ate so many Dutch letters, Brian. He just got big.
Yeah. Well, he moved to Germany and ate sauerbraten and whatever else. But now, obviously, Thomas Nast, for those that don't know, he was most famous for being the cartoonist that took down Tammany Hall and Boss Tweed back in the
in New York City.
1800s in New York City. Okay. And it was his cartoons that actually got Tweed caught after he'd left the country and attempted to hide out, and I believe it was Spain.
Spain again?
Yeah. I guess it's a popular place to escape things.
I guess.
But Santa Claus was drawn in 1862, kind of at the height of the Civil War. Things weren't going all that great for the North. So this was a way of kind of helping people take their minds off of the carnage that was going on.
You said Santa Claus's hat was originally a fur hat?
His whole outfit, the
Was
red,
fur.
was all red, all red fur.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's not easy to find.
No.
Well, if you draw on a picture, you can make it. You can put anything on.
Yeah, I guess.
They can be made of anything. But the amazing thing to me is that Santa Claus is still the same guy. I mean, we haven't changed anything on him since the time that that Thomas Nast came up with him.
The concept, yeah.
The concept. And very quickly, if we have a second or two,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
we are going to show you the other two that he's very famous for. Now, he's the same guy that came up with the political parties of... He was the first one to come up with the elephant
Oh,
And the donkey.
and the donkey as,
Really?
How about
yes,
that?
as a Democratic and Republican.
Do we know why he selected those animals for those particular
Well,
parties?
he had used a lot of animals in his cartoons for various political parties, various groups. He also had the Tammany Hall tiger too. So there were other ones that had not been as famous as the elephant and the donkey. But it's amazing how just a couple of caricatures from back in the 1800s can still be alive today.
And very prevalent.
And very prevalent. And it's like, there's been no changes in them. So, of course, that's the Republican elephant, and of course, we'll just stick the donkey over here.
donkey.
Amazing thing about him is that all the cartoons that really made a big, big difference in what he's known for, especially with Tammany Hall and the corruption that was going on in New York at the time, that was over just a few years period. And afterwards, he'd kind of fallen out of favor with the then publisher of Harper's Weekly and ended up penniless, actually,
No.
and had taken a position as, I believe it was a consular, and I think it was Ecuador, down in Ecuador. And
No, it's not a bad
nobody really wanted it because of, I think quite a few people were dying of yellow fever down there at the time. And he joined them and passed away down there of yellow fever.
Oh my goodness. But
So-
left his mark, obviously.
He left
on
a very big mark, yes.
Images that we still see on a
Yeah.
almost daily basis.
All right, that is
Yes.
awesome. All right, put Santa Claus back on because it is
get Santa Claus.
Christmas
It's
Eve.
Christmas
So
Eve.
That's right,
we got
that's
to go back. It is Santa Claus time.
Merry Christmas.
There we go. Wonderful. Great job.
There he
And
is.
great story understanding where Santa Claus really came from.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Thank you so much.